Welcome back. The assassination of John F. Kennedy has been the subject of endless debate and analysis. The latest episode of NewsNation's Reality Check podcast dives into the dark world of Cold War espionage to find out what JFK may have known about UFOs, covert CIA operations, and if there could be connections to Kennedy's assassination.
Do you believe that there may in fact be a connection between JFK's decision to demand openness from the CIA and openness between the CIA and the Soviets on UAPs? Do you believe there may be a connection between that presidential order and the subsequent murder of John F. Kennedy?
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely. Here with us now is NewsNation special correspondent and Reality Check host, Ross Coulthart, joining us from Australia. Ross, thanks for joining us. I've been very excited to talk to you.
It's a real pleasure to speak to you, and it's very much UFO week this week. I'm able to talk about Lou Elizondo also at the end of this week, appearing on NewsNation. So we're going to have a very busy week with studying the subject of UFOs.
Very exciting. And you know, everyone wants to know more about this phenomenon. Let's start with the Majestic 12 files. What are they, and why are ufologists now zeroing in on them? I should call them ufologists.
Okay, so the Majestic 12 files are a long disputed group of documents that were supposedly leaked from within the defence and intelligence agencies about 30 plus years ago. Their provenance, their authenticity has long been disputed. But what's really interesting, and the chap I was interviewing there, who's an Australian former intelligence officer, a guy called Geoff Cruickshank, he's done some phenomenal work revealing a little-known piece of history from the JFK era, how 63 years ago, JFK was so concerned that UFOs were causing the Soviets to fear that the Americans might be launching an attack, that he ordered the CIA to be more open with the Russians, with the Soviet Union, about what we were doing on their border, because it turned out there was a secret CIA program where we were actually spoofing UFOs. We were pretending that there were UFOs by putting up false signals on Russian radar. And needless to say, JFK was very, very concerned about this because it was a huge threat to deconflicting, to stopping the possibility that the Soviets might think that we were attacking. And the interesting thing is there are documents in the Majestic 12 documents which appear to refer to this secret operation. And even though they've been said to be false, it's really interesting because the secret operation was only revealed to exist 2 years ago, and yet these MJ12 documents were found and first discovered to the public attention about 30 years ago. So it really does raise the possibility that what have long been disputed to be fake documents are in fact potentially true, and that they reveal a hidden history about JFK's concern about UFOs.
This is so fascinating. So, Ross, as we're listening to this podcast, as we're learning more, what are the questions we should keep in mind as we listen and watch the story unfold?
Okay, well, I think a lot of people don't realize that it's actually written into treaties. There's a treaty that we've signed with the Russians, which basically assures them that we will consult on UAPs, on UFOs. This is such a big issue between the United States and the Soviet Union in its day, and now Russia, that in order to protect those countries from accidentally launching a nuclear strike at each other, they are consulting. They've agreed to consult with each other in a treaty on UFOs. And so we should be skeptical about documents that appear to suggest some kind of broader conspiracy, but this particular intelligence official, now retired, suggests that we should be taking seriously these documents that suggest that there's been a very hidden history where the president, JFK, was so concerned that we were doing an illegal, essentially things that weren't even authorized by Congress. We were running an operation which was making the Soviets think that we were launching an attack, making them look like UFOs. And JFK only found out about it 63 years ago in Vienna because of a question from Premier Nikita Khrushchev. So it's important now in these very dangerous times that we look at the fact that, here we are, we're so much closer to the potential for nuclear Armageddon than ever before in our history. Heaven forbid. And I think questions need to be asked of our president. What on earth is going on? What are we doing to protect against this potential risk?
Ross, that is incredibly interesting. I can't wait to watch and listen. Ross Coulthart, thank you so much, sir. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.